guess get bigger question out of the way earlier. Just your future with the Warriors heading into this offseason that feels obviously pretty unknown.
We don't want to talk about the season first. You want to talk about the future? That was a
Fu-
lot of games played, man. That was a pretty big accomplishment. What's up with y'all not wanting to live in the present, bro? It's ridiculous. Anyways, what was your question?
about the future. I mean, obviously it's a pretty major topic. I mean, you're a franchise legend here who is an unrestricted free agent and certainly at this point has an unknown future here. I mean, how confident are you that you'll be back?
Um, to be honest, I really haven't given it much thought because what I previously just said about the season we had and how much commitment it takes to play the games we did and give it our all. So I really haven't thought about that deep in the future because I still need to process the year we had, and it was one filled with ups and downs. But ultimately, we did. I personally and our team did everything we could to try and you know win as many games as we possibly could.
Living in the present.
Mhm.
What were some
Place
things
to be.
going through your head, last night when you were walking off the court? I know you lingered there a little bit longer than usual after the game.
Um, some of the things going through my head. Hmm. Well, the first one, just disappointment because did not shoot the ball well, obviously. Big old donut, so that wasn't very fun. Um, I did look up in the nosebleeds though, and I did see a man wearing a number 11 jersey. That made me happy, considering my history in Sacramento from playing a state championship there to playing the Kings in the playoffs. That was kind of a full circle moment for me. So that was actually a good moment just seeing that Warriors fan standing by his lonesome up in the 300 level, repping 11. That made me grateful.
Like Steph, Steph, Draymond, and Steve all basically said they want you back. They want to keep this thing rolling. What does it mean to you to hear that from those guys? And you probably already knew it, but what does it mean to hear that from those guys telling the public that?
It means a lot. I mean, we've been through the highest of highs and lows, whether it's losing a championship, winning a championship, missing the playoffs. We've been through everything together. So that does mean a lot. And makes me grateful to have the times I've had with them. Like, done some pretty historic stuff.
How do you view the next several weeks going? And I mean, it's clear like you're not necessarily ready to think about the future this moment, but like, how quickly do you think you're gonna have to kind of pivot and figure that out? And what conversations do you feel like you need to have?
Well, consider it's April 17th. I don't think I have to pivot that quickly. When is free agency? July 1st? Yeah, I got some time. Got some time.
Klay, what do you think is the biggest lesson that you learned this past season?
The biggest lesson that I learned? Uh, Probably I learned that, um, you got to you can't be a front runner. You can't shy away from the bad moments and just embrace the great ones. You got to embrace them all. That's for anything you do in life.
Clay, that was kind of along what I was going to ask, but what kind of growth did you see in yourself this season, specifically with different roles? You had, some ups and downs, and you shined and came back from some tough stretches, and came off the bench and started, and just you did a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I think I learned that the best ability is availability, and I thought I did that very well this season. Playing through tough times or being available almost nightly, only missing a handful of games. So I learned that when you give yourself that shot of being out there every night, that's the best thing you can do for yourself rather than just hanging on to those big scoring nights or whatever. It's about just competing nightly.
Were there any breakthroughs for you emotionally with, just everything you went through and just being able to handle everything you went through?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a strong person. You don't you don't take a couple years off injury and come back and play that many games without being strong-willed and minded. So that's what I did learn about myself is that it takes a lot of mental fortitude to uh, play through injury and yeah, shooting slumps, all that. It takes a lot of willpower. No problem.
Know you'll have time to obviously think about, what you want to do next, but what do you want to prioritize, for yourself kind of moving forward? What are your priorities?
Obviously you want to keep winning. I mean, when you've been a part of winning seasons, you don't really want to go away from that. So I would like to win again. One for the thumb would be nice. I still think it's in reach. It's just gonna, yeah, take a huge effort. But other than that, just gotta think about that. What will really make you happy in the last, few years of your career?
You just talked about kind of living in the moment, the best ability being availability. I mean, you played 77 games this year. What are you most proud about for this season?
That amount of games I played and yeah, averaging whatever 18 points and playing 77 games. It's not my career averages, but still pretty dang good for, yeah, it's still pretty dang good.
Klay, last night Draymond was saying that he doesn't see any scenario in which the ownership group of this team doesn't at least put forth the effort to take care of the guys that have taken care of this organization so much over the last 10 years. Do you feel that kind of effort and love specifically in this scenario, but then also over, I mean, guess since your entire career here, but since 2019, going through the injuries, the extension after that, just that they've put in that effort to make you guys and you feel appreciated?
Huh. Oh man. Well, 2019. Well, could you imagine if they didn't pay me after I got hurt? That would have been really bad. Like, oh, went to 5 straight finals. You blew your knee out? Yeah. Sorry. So no, I mean, that was very nice of them. I mean, I mean, every year I give my best effort and ownership group has been great. I have nothing but positive things to say about them. They treat us like they treat us with great respect and do all the little things for us to do our jobs at the highest level. So it's been I mean, I don't really know how to answer that. I mean, it's up to them, but at the end of the day, whatever happens, it's all gravy. It's been such a freaking special run.
Klay, how much is your appreciation and love for the game grown, especially since the 2 injuries? Thinking about that first game you came back here at Chase Center to where we are
man.
today.
Yeah, that was one of the best moments of my life, to be honest. Before those injuries, I was really naive and thinking like this is easy. Like all I gotta do is do your routine and you just go out there and hoop. And yeah, it's that easy, but playing that many years of basketball takes a toll on your body. And I think that's for any sportsman who plays a physical sport. There's going to be times where you might break. And like I said before about being a front runner, you don't want to be a front runner when things are great. You got to really dig deep when you go through injuries like that. That's just a part of the beast.
Klay, since you've proven you're still a quality scorer in this league, obviously teams are playing you differently. It looks like, they're pressing up on you, being physical. How have you had to adjust and moving forward? What do you think you need to do to kind of combat how teams are going to guard you?
I think I just need to keep doing what I've been doing. Honestly, I think last night was just a bad shooting night. I mean, it happens. Uh, Unfortunately, it was in a one-game format, but that's the situation we were in, and uh, much different than a 7-game series. So I just thought I had a uh, off night from the office. Can't let that deter me from what I think of myself or what I'm capable of. I think I just need to continue to be in great shape and have fun, and the rest, and I'll be great.
Klay, you've talked about gratitude for just playing basketball and obviously the connection with Draymond and Steph comes up a lot, but how much do you also sort of view this organization, your connection with Steve? I mean, he's the only coach you've had. You know, you talked about how the conversations with him this year that helped turn your season around. How beyond just Steph and Draymond, how comfortable are you in this organization? How does that sort of shape any decision this offseason?
Played for Mark Jackson too.
That's true. Sorry.
And yeah, I mean, I love everyone here, from the security who does the floor at the games to the security from the Oracle days. I'm still friends with them. To the community of Oakland. I mean, yeah, I grew up in the Bay Area, really. I've been here since I was 21. And I just always have loved it. E. Housen, even Ray Ritter. I've gotten to know these people on a way deeper level than just work life. So it is a really cool place to be.
Clay, when you went, you missed obviously more than 2 years, and when you came back, I mean, looking back now, did you put maybe too much on yourself and maybe raise your expectations too high when you came back, given what you've gone through?
I don't think so. Because when I came back, I was a second leading scorer on a championship team. And when you've experienced that, you're like, I'm back. Then even that next year, led the league in threes, 41% from three. Like, on 300 makes, that's very hard to do. So the moments were there, but maybe my burst wasn't what it was, and that happens. But at the end of the day, I still feel like I can do it at a very high level, and I did have times where I did. Obviously, the way it ended this year wasn't what it was the last couple of years, but I'm not gonna let one sour night or year ruin a decade plus of great work and success.
You've mentioned a couple times, learning about not being a front runner.
Mm-hmm.
Could you elaborate on that? And is that like a personal thing? Is that a team thing? Could you just explain a little bit more?
It's more of a personal thing. You sulk, you pout when you're not shooting up to your expected splits. And I think I did better with that this year, just trying to exude great body language at all times and think deeper than just stats. Think about your love for the game and why you do play this game. And, at times I have been a front runner in the past when things don't go my way. I might point the finger rather than just taking ownership for your situation. So that's what I've learned, and I try to pass down to younger athletes, is because when you do great things over and over, and you keep that high level of confidence and attitude in a great space, it'll eventually work out for you, and you'll have no regrets when it's all said and done.
Klay, you were talking just now about the appreciation for everyone in the franchise, from security to all the way to the top. I wonder, can you take me back to when you were drafted, what your thoughts were then, and what the hopes were you had for your NBA career, and what you've been able to do?
Taking us back. Oh, man. Wow. Back in 2011, June of 2011, when I got drafted by the Dubs, that was probably, at the moment, that time, best moment of my life, just because the NBA was always a dream. Being able to be close to home. I have family in Oregon and in Southern California, so that made it even more special. And then yeah, all the moments that have led me here, it's been awesome. Like, couldn't have ever dreamt of what we've been able to do and what we can still do. So we've elevated this team into a global club. And I mean, who saw that coming 20 years ago?
Oh, hi, Clay. Hello here. So, do you want to say anything to the Dub Nation and the fans around the whole world, like who support you all the time?
Ha, that's actually a great segue from my global brand talk. Yeah, just we love you guys and thank you for your unconditional support these last 10 years. I mean, it doesn't go unnoticed that there are Warrior fans across the globe from, you know, China to Tokyo to South America to Europe. I've seen Warrior fans everywhere I've went, and doesn't ever. It always makes me feel good. Is what I'm trying to say.
2 quick ones. Looks like you got kind of a fat lip. Was that from the game last night?
Yeah,
Take an elbow or something?
that is correct.
You mentioned, a few years left. Like how much are you viewing kind of your next contract as your last one, or like where are you at on kind of like the bigger picture future?
Maybe, I don't know. When that time comes, I mean, I'm not trying to put a expiration date on my career. That's kind of something you just go by feel. All right, nice. No problem.